Well.
Oh, jeez.
For water, for coffee. That's right. Both of these mugs are available now with the new inflation rate of $179 plus shipping. There's a heavy handling charge and whatnot.
And it takes at least 8 months to get to your door.
Well, maybe that, yeah. That's from the time we ship it, let alone the time we order it from Shanghai, which is a beautiful place. Well, of course, it's another beautiful week, and I just want to start by saying this is another episode of Unnecessary Talk with Brian Sturges, and I am that Brian Sturges, not to be confused with the other Brian Sturgeses, some of which I guess they're getting into some legal problems with their divorces and whatnot. I don't want to get into it, but I am not that Brian Sturges. I've received many of depositions for other Brian Sturgeses. They're not me. Don't make it weird. Don't make it weird. Don't make it weird. Don't make it weird.
I got one of those, and it scared the pants off me. I had to put them back on. It was like it was like saying there was like a warrant out for me or something. I had to go to the. I was like, what? I haven't done anything. But let's just, before you finish that story, let's just take a moment and visualize Tim Hall in a county jail of Los Angeles
with no pants.
Sans Patanos.
Where are my pants?
So you went down to the courthouse or the jail cell?
No, I just ignored it. But I was like, I called my brother, who happens to be a lawyer, and
whoa,
what?
I got a guy.
Oh my God, your parents! You got this situation. What do your two sons do? Well, one's a lawyer, one produces a show in which there are an average of 40 viewers, 20 of which would be hitting.
I also do 10 refreshes, so the numbers are dwindling.
Yeah. Well, I like that we take 6 months off every 6 months.
you got to refill the tank.
You can't. There's only so much comedy in the world to go around.
Yeah.
Oh, well, of course, it's a beautiful week. I just feel great. You ever have a day where you just feel positive and great? What's so funny?
I mean,
Josh, what don't you?
No,
I'm a positive guy.
Yeah,
right? I'm not hard-boiled. I'm not hard-boiled like I've been accused of.
I mean, I was wondering if you ever have a day where you feel positive and great.
I feel. You know what? The day is today. You want to know why? Because Betty White is turning 100. And is there anything better in the world than a celebration of 100 years of comedy in this planet? And just best wishes to you.
Oh, boy.
Happy 100, Betty.
Yep.
You did it. I saw you on a magazine stand since you made it to 100, so congratulations. Also, to celebrate, I went ahead and bought us all Bob Saget tickets for Pachanga next month.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I heard
I'm really
good.
excited.
Excellent.
Yeah, I heard Norm Macdonald's opening for him, so
that's
going to
great.
be so good.
going to be a hell of a show. Rickles may or may not be there. I don't know.
Fingers crossed.
Oh. Why are they all dying? Okay, first of all, I still have this.
Yeah, I noticed.
because it's become a thing that it really enrages the lady at this point. Because it's been because at first she was like, maybe it's time to trim it up, right? And then I was like, yeah. And then a few days, a week goes by. She's like, oh well, it's so like not good looking. And she's like, oh hey,
It's so
I was like, oh, I'll trim it up a week after week, and now I've gone way past. It was supposed to be off like December 1st, and then the holidays, and then January 1st, and we're 2 weeks into, and just every week it gets a little bit more aggressive. Like, oh, good morning, you still have that. And but I keep meaning to take it. I don't have a lot of time. That's the problem, right? Which you would think I'm pretty available, but
how you get caught
I just don't. I keep meaning. I was supposed to take it off yesterday, but it didn't happen. And then she was annoyed it didn't happen. It just made me want to keep it again for another week. But
It looks like you're growing hedgerows on your face.
Well, it's
There's
not
like
good
a
because it looks like
pathway.
I'm making payments. Tim Hall and I went over this. Here's the problem with the beard. It's this thing. It's these gap. Because by putting my fingers there, you can visualize what a real beard should look like. You ready?
Oh, look
yeah.
at that beard.
Now it looks like
That
I'm
looks
covering
nice.
my face,
Yeah,
right?
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 Suddenly you're Russian.
Yeah.
Oh, not
Yeah.
Russian anymore.
Yeah.
It does look like you're wearing a mask.
It's not
Like
good.
Yeah.
And this is why I do the stubble or a short beard, because a long beard looks like this. But there's something wrong. There's like the Schadenfreude or whatever, where it's just like the madder she gets, it just makes me. Tim Hall did it for 2 years with his hair.
I did. Yeah.
So
I think you should just cut the parts that are a little gray right there.
just
And leave
take this
everything
off.
else.
Just
Just
do
that.
the Van Buren
Yeah, I like that. Yeah.
from Kinderhook, New
pres-
York, which is
presidential.
why we have the expression "okay" is from his presidential campaign, because he was from Kinderhook. They called him Old Kinderhook.
Oh,
That was his
okay.
nickname, and he was like, "He's okay," and that became a thing now. Where we use
Really?
it.
That's crazy. That's
Okay, so
ubiquitous.
when you see the O dot K dot, it's referring
I thought that was
That's him.
Oklahoma.
little. But yeah, so she's like, take it. She's like, it's just if you could just like remove it. But I'm gonna have some fun. I'm gonna do like I'm gonna do like with a character that I wrote. Do a Van Dyke. Really look like I would. Just look as trashy as I can in the cardigan. She's like, your sweater doesn't match your beard. And I said, I think it does. Because she's like, well, cardigans are clean. I said, no, they're Scottish. They're lamb farmers or whatever, right? They got the sticks, thou shalt not pass, right? They're all
Oh yeah,
bearded.
all that.
Stuff, right? Yeah. It's a beautiful day. So going around the room, how is everyone? Tim Hall, let me start with you. We're going to switch it up this week. How are you, man?
My neck hurts so bad. I cannot look this way.
Okay.
Oh, right about there is where I can look. This way's okay. So I slept like hot trash last night. So I don't have the same. I mean, I'm a positive guy anyway, so you could never tell. But yeah, I'm not on the. I didn't wake up like you did.
So it's a sleeping injury.
No, it's not.
No?
I wish it
What
was.
happened? What happened?
It's from archery. I was doing something wrong and I hurt my neck.
Oh no!
Yeah.
Wow.
Yes, the
Did,
chiropractors in Loxley, man, they make all the money.
Oh yeah.
Did your head wind up?
I know
like
what you're doing.
inside the bowstring, or what? Just
Were you doing the teeth thing again? Were you doing the thing? We've decided to talk about the death of comedy. And with that, it's been obviously Betty White. We loved you. Golden Girls, incredible. And then we lost Bob Saget a few days ago, which is
That's crazy.
is crazy, because I went back and I was on his Instagram last night. And his last post, like most of his posts were getting like 30,000, 40,000. The last one had like 750,000, because it was a very positive message. It was him, and it was either pre-show or I think it was pre-show of a giant amphitheater. And he posted such a loving and positive message and all that. He's excited to get back and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
He went home, and like 4 to 6 hours after that photo was taken, that was it. And they found it the next day when he didn't check out of his room.
Jeez.
And they're trying to blame it on the COVID because he just had it. They think that might, there's like,
like
there's
a
the conspiracy
complication.
theories going around. But who's murdering comedians? Now, Betty White, I didn't see it coming. I'll be honest with you.
Yeah. You were totally
I
taken.
couldn't
aback.
believe it. But Norm Macdonald, our friend here, Tim Hall, devastated me one afternoon. I'm just, living my life like it's golden, like a Jill Scott album, right? And it just says Norm Macdonald died from Tim Hall. That's all it says. Just, I mean, let's be honest. Where do you think half his bits I'm stealing? Like, I think, I mean, this show would not be, which doesn't need to exist. We can all agree.
It would
But this
not
show,
be.
yeah, it
Should
exists
not be.
really because of Norm Macdonald Live. And Norm Macdonald Live was great because he kind of he loved it and didn't care about it. He'd take 6 months off. He'd do whatever. He'd have his friends on.
Yeah.
And it was it was in a podcasting studio, but still, it's just a casualness about it. And because it was his show on YouTube, he could say the things, he could truly be his own comedian, which is why everyone's on YouTube, right? Everyone's thing is, now I can put out there who I truly am and now book me.
Right, yeah. You're not going to get fired
From
SNL
for
making
OJ jokes.
Yeah.
But Norm Macdonald Live, it was great because he would say terrible. I mean, one of the jokes were, how come there's an app except for everything except how to rape a baby? It's like, I don't even know why that's funny, but when he does it, it's great. If you have a chance.
His delivery, yeah.
Yeah, right?
Because he comes across as like, how would I put this? He takes the edge off of it with his approach. Like he just really wants to know. He's
the
like,
false
there's a
sincerity
curiosity.
behind
Yeah,
every
sincerity,
statement. Yeah. Because he's setting it all up, right? From the very first line. He's waiting to mess with you at the very end.
You could actually tell because he has like a little glint. Yeah.
Yeah, right in his eyes.
He gets excited.
Whenever he starts to mess with somebody, it's so true. If you ever watch him, it's just, especially on talk shows, he's like, okay, they're hooked. All right.
Yeah.
Here we go. Now they're in. Because once somebody calls him out on it, they've acknowledged it, and then he rolls on it. Yeah. But if you hate this show, you can blame Norm Macdonald.
But
I mean, he'd have guests. He had, Super Dave Osborne, which is also
one of my favorites.
He's gone too. I mean, half his guests. If you were a guest on Norm Macdonald Live, including Larry King, you're going to need to see a physician.
Yeah, immediately.
He had Jackie Mason on too. Look at Andy, Dick, and Carrot Top, still living life, right? It's because you got to pump yourself full of a cocktail of drugs to eliminate any death. But we were basically ripping off his show I was pretty.
Because we started off with jokes, right? We had
I closed with jokes, but I called it out in the early episodes. But we were doing jokes at the end, and it was. But he was really bringing on his friends, and they were really having a good time. And then he sold it to Netflix, which I think was a mistake, which he might also feel this way, because then they put out 6 or 8 episodes, and they made him delete all of the previous episodes.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
All
the YouTube stuff?
All of those Norm Macdonald Lives that were out, that channel had to come down or whatever for the Netflix show. And then it was like a network tamed version of guests in which Netflix is cross-promoting. Right. You'll notice guests on Netflix shows are only guests with Netflix shows. There's nobody like, we don't have a show on Netflix. You're not allowed. It's like a fraternity,
Yeah. There was a guest where I was like, I didn't know, I just can't see them crossing paths.
Yeah,
Who was it? It was what's her face?
Yeah, it was like one of the Kennedys.
Oh, it was
No, there was like one of the Kennedys' wives are doing stand up, real like not really like stand up in her mind in like in Connecticut to guys in Dockers and brown shoes. You know what I mean?
Oh, the boating crowd.
Like she's rich, so she can like.
Yeah, you can do it.
When you're a Kennedy, you're like, I want to be a comedian. You can pretty much be like, I think I'll open a club, Dangerfield. But Norm Macdonald Live for me was really, it brought me kind of a real love of comedy. He was so free. And then when he went to Netflix and they had whoever on, you could see him. It just wasn't the same vibe. It was just like, it was like watching street kids fight and then you clean them all up and you put them in a ring. It's just not the same. I want to see scrappers. You know what I mean? But there is.
So you can't see the old episodes anymore, huh? They're gone.
I took them down. Now I think the first 3 have found their way up, but the rest are gone, or at least still not available. But it's Super Dave Osborne. They were great. I mean, the jokes at the end, if you're ever feeling sad or depressed or you're having one of those, or you're vacuuming and you want to listen to something that's going on, if you go into YouTube, someone put all of his blue card jokes together in a 4-hour YouTube video.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And I got to just play it. Like next time you're doing dishes or whatever, go on there. It's fantastic. But we never really talked about, all this stuff has kind of happened since we or on sabbatical or hiatus or whatever you want to call it.
Sounds
But he
fancy.
was, top 3 for me. I mean, he was my favorite living comedian, and so that was very devastating.
Yeah.
And he's so smart, very, very smart. And I think I connected with him because he had an old dad. So his references and right, he had like another 20 or 30 years. I feel like I do. Like I could talk about Glenn Miller Band, references that, you wouldn't. So he had that old dad, and so he had that old spirit, and he was into old man things. So I connected on that level. And he had the perfect amount of blue and smart jokes. So he'd set it up, and it's very intellectual, and then it's like a fart joke. It's just kind of,
Yeah.
it was a nice back and forth. And I would say he was one of the smartest comedians. One of my other favorites is Carlin, and they had similarities and differences, obviously, but they're both very smart men who have a full vocabulary, are well read. But the other thing about Norm Macdonald is that he would just lie all the time. He would just, at his age, like he would add 10 years, take off. He would just, whatever the question was, he'd mess with you. So if you said, "How old are you, Norm?" "I'm 62. The next day, "I'm 74. I'm 50. And so there's like no one really knew. So that's
Right.
why the first day they were like, "He died at 54 or 64. We don't actually. And he's also great on Comedians on Cars Getting Coffee, where he tells the Kojak joke. If you have a chance to go, that's on YouTube or on Netflix. He just describes an episode of Kojak, and it's hysterical. And there's not that many people that could do that.
Yeah.
And very slow. He would take his time. He'd get you in. And I saw a thing where he said he was afraid of moving, and he said he never really moved. And you watch his specials, he doesn't take the mic out. He stands there. And he's like, so it was interesting to hear him complain about himself also. The guy's like Norm Macdonald. The guy had become kind of a legend after the fact. And he says, "I can't touch it." He's like, "I barely move my hands." He's like, "I just stand there in front of the mic." And then when you watch it, you can see him like
That's true,
doing
yeah.
the movement to be like, "I should move my hands." Okay, I move them back to the jokes. And you've heard the guy. You guys have heard the Hitler, right? The Hitler bit that was on his Netflix
Yeah.
special
That's the last
and
one I
on
saw.
Letterman. Yeah. Check that out for sure. So, Normie, Dirty Work, directed by Bob Saget with Chris Farley.
Yeah.
The only MFer in that mother effer movie still alive is the cokehead there is Artie Lang. Right?
Oh yeah.
Artie Lang outlived the entire cast of Dirty Work.
That's incredible.
His
drugs,
book
kids.
is pretty good.
You see his
Too fat
nose
to
lately?
fish? Oh really?
Have you?
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
gone,
You haven't seen Artie Lang's nose? Oh yeah, it's gone. Look it up.
Is this what you're talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go to the next picture up there. The close up.
Oh, this one?
Yeah. Yeah.
Interesting.
Well,
It just caved in.
He's gone.
Yeah. It was the coke, and then he got mugged or beat up or something.
Oh.
Some sort. He got into a fight with somebody, but that's the poster, But that guy outlived Bob Saget, Norm Macdonald, Don Rickles. It would make sense. Don Rickles, yeah. You look like what are you? You went to Baskin Robbins. You ate all the flavors at the Baskin Robbins.
Yeah.
And Bob Saget, of course, Full House.
Yeah. Definitely but both like Golden Girls. Were they on at the same time? Golden Girls. Girls was first, and then Full House came on
Yes.
a little later. But they're both. I associate them with, being a kid, growing up.
Definitely Full House more than the Golden Girls. Golden Girls is Cliff's favorite show.
I know.
It's great, and right, and it was like a rapper. Gabriel Union has a friend. I don't remember what it is, but it was like DMX's favorite show was Golden Girls or something like that.
Nice.
He's like, "This is funny." Yeah, Bob. Full House, great theme song. And, of course, Alanis Morissette's Cut It Out there. The brisk guy, the Cut It Out. Joe.
Dang it, it's
Yeah.
I was just talking about this.
Yeah, this guy. The guy
Not
that
Joey.
was obviously the least popular.
Dave
Coulier.
Coulier. Yeah.
Dave, wonderful Dave. A fine actor. The fine thespian
Canadian.
actor. His thing was cutting it out. I don't know if you saw it.
Oh yeah, cut
Like
it out.
Like a melanoma surgeon.
Yeah.
And of
That's
course,
fun.
you had the hot Greek guy from the Beach Boys there, Stamos,
Yeah.
who
Played bongos.
played.
Or drums. He played bongos
Right,
and
yeah.
drums with the Beach Boys. Yeah.
Don't
On
say you're a
Kokomo,
musician
I
if you play
believe.
the bongos. Please. Please. It's insulting to real musicians everywhere. You know? But yeah, Bob Saget, Dirty Work. That was an interesting movie. That was kind of a bomb, but it became one of those, kind of cult classics.
Yeah.
Have you guys seen it?
Yeah.
No, actually, I haven't seen it.
Yeah. Oh, you got to see it. You know who else is in there?
Is that the one where he's the butler? Or no, Dirty Work is there's another one that he's in where he's the butler.
That's the one with DeVito. Yeah. This is he and Artie Lang started a revenge business to get back.
Oh,
at
yeah,
the
yeah.
bosses. And the boss in the place is David Kechner from Second City,
Oh.
who we don't need to mention got a DUI a couple days ago.
Oh, really?
Really?
Yeah, I was like the most random news. Yeah, he was right up. Well, he was up someplace where people live, and yeah, I mean, it's national news. But I was just like, that was the headline that came across. I was like, this guy's finally getting some press. Now, that's an actor's career that I would like, right? He's like out of trouble. I mean, other than the DUI, he's not like, I'm sure he's a family.
Oh, right,
man with
yeah.
kids, nice bold thing. But he was in it. Yeah, check out Dirty. I think it was Chris Farley's last movie. Too.
Oh.
Pretty
I always
sure.
thought it was the one where he's with Lewis and Clark going across. Was Farley's last one.
I don't know. Look it up. If only we had. See, you want to be that guy? Why don't you look it up, Tim? Huh?
All right.
Fine.
Fine, Chris.
If only there were a
Farley's
person to answer the questions in which you will pose. It
last
looks so
movie.
bad. Look.
Yeah, it was the
Right?
Almost Heroes.
Sadly.
Oh, I'm watching that tonight.
Yeah. And you know what? It's so. It's,
Oh, they're so
it's kind of a
close. May
shitty
and
movie in a
June.
good way. Oh, I'm sorry, Tim. What was
May
that?
and June they were released. So Dirty Work May, Almost Heroes June, same year.
Okay. Well, I guess you
Wow.
successful
Having a good summer.
defecated all over my bit and proved me wrong. Do you feel like a big man, Tim? Do you feel like a big man?
No, I mean a little bit in the middle.
I also
Medium-sized.
suggest, Dr. Willis, is that after you watch it, go on YouTube and listen to Norm Macdonald talk about working with Rickles.
All
You know,
right.
and it's just.
Yeah.
But Bob Saget was also the filthy comedian. That guy's been around. He was like a comedy store guy.
Yeah.
And he was a dirty, dirty comedian. And then he got Full House. And then he said he'd love it that people would show up to a show, not realize to the comedy shows, thinking he's Danny Tanner, but he's really Norm Macdonald or whatever. So, and then after the show, he just went back to dirty. And so he had, it wasn't one of the movies with these, like he's like, I blew guys for cocaine.
All right, Bob Saget. Here we go. Ready?
Marijuana?
Yeah, I'll have
Man,
to-
this is some bullshit.
okay.
Marijuana is not a drug. I used to suck dick for coke.
I seen them.
I seen him.
There you go, Bob Saget. R.I.P. Yeah, and and everyone was talking about he's such a kind person that his branding was the filthiest comedian, but also like the nicest guy in the world, talking about look at assholes or whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever it is. The art of analingus. Oh, cool. Yeah, that was a great sketch. Cunnilingus.
Oh, Colonel Angus. Everybody waits for Colonel Angus. Yeah.
Everybody, yes. And then, of course, Betty White.
Yeah.
The golden girl. The most golden girl of them all. 99.9.
Yeah. Just shy.
Just
Was it 2 weeks?
shy.
Yeah.
Just shy. Now, what I like, of course, the Golden. She married Tyler Moore, the Golden Girls, the Golden Palace, which was just like there was Sex in the City with the 4 girls, and then now it's and just like that, or just say that, and just like that, right? And there were the 3.
Yeah.
They did the same thing with the Golden Girls. It was the 4 in the Golden Girls. Then Dorothy left. And then they did the 3 of them made the sitcom The Golden Palace, where they buy a hotel in Miami with a breakout role starring Don Cheadle.
No kidding.
And Cheech Moran. Cheech.
Yeah, Cheech Moran.
Yeah.
So
Awesome.
it's like the
Or
exact.
Marin.
Now, I'm going to be honest with you. I kind of would prefer to lay, like Norm Macdonald would say, I like to lay on top of,
Blanche. Is that what you're going to say?
well, yeah. But I'm saying, but don't these 55-year-old women today
Oh, yes, they look,
so drastically.
Well, you think about like Jennifer Lopez is 50-something and she...
Yeah. Fantastic. Selma Hayek. I got in
Oh,
trouble.
my goodness.
I got in trouble
I'll bet you did.
with a lady because we started talking about, like, what is that list? The free list, the freebie list.
Oh, yeah, your free pass or whatever.
The one celebrity that you could have sex with that you just have to deal with it. It's just like it's the one pass, and
It was the over 50 bracket.
Yeah, yeah.
It was that.
right.
It was the-
And of course, my answer has been Allison Jones for years now because she's like the biggest comedy booker in Hollywood. She's booked. You name a show, she's the casting director or the casting person.
And
I
that's your
mean,
in.
any
Yeah.
comedy, any The Office, Parks and Rec. She's fan. Anyway, so I would just say, just putting that out there.
in case
In case,
He'll shave the beard. Yeah.
yeah, I would do anything, but my other celebrity, one that wouldn't just gain me, hopefully, it would be Selma Hayek, and because I was watching, I had a movie on there. See, I had a movie.
Right,
on
you
there.
had one of them
I had
desperados.
one of those moving
Yeah.
pictures playing on the, and she was upstairs. Now I was doing tasks, and I was just like, "Oh God, oh I didn't really know
pontificating?
that the lady could hear me." And she came down, and she's like, "What were you doing? Were you okay? Were you something? What?" I was like, "Oh, I was just." Commenting on Selma Hayek because I was like, oh God, the things I would do to you. She's like, who are you talking to down here? I was just talking to
The screen.
to the screen. I was like,
Yeah.
yes, I would leave my entire life. I love you. I love all of you, family.
Yeah.
My love, my
I have to
daughter.
go. Yeah.
But I mean, I would have to. I would change identities. I'd send money. I'm not an animal. I'd
Yeah,
send, like the old mobster wives, there'd be a little bit of squizole. I don't think that's what it is. In the mailbox every month. But so I was having a physical. I was like, God damn, look at that. Would you look? Because I don't know what it was, but I don't know who directed this, but I would like to thank you. She's sexy because she does like a lot of like, so she puts like, so the hair goes over the breasts and she does like this, and it's like a grand reveal of these 2 Atlas-esque orbs of pleasure. So where was I going with this? So so she gets up on a car. She's got to like she's got to like get in on the engine bay, and it's not like something that she could fix in the open hood. You know what I mean? That's all sexy in the front. It's way in the back.
Oh, yeah.
So she climbs up and she just like does the shot where the camera is shooting directly down her low cut thing while she's like braless and they're hanging down. Right?
Sure.
So when that happened, forget it. I was like, oh my God, this is holy cow. And it was just like, just words. It's like, hey, look at you. So she was like, "Who are you talking to?" So and she got mad, and it became this whole thing. I was like, I should be allowed.
There it is. Is this the picture you're talking about? She's working on something?
Yes. He found it. Yes. Oh my God. Yes, Tim Hall, you're doing
After
it.
The sunset.
Oh, there's a whole section dedicated to it.
Yeah. You think?
That
makes sense.
Yeah, could we go a little larger, buddy? I mean,
Well, this is a 452 by 188. So.
God, you're getting a raise. You're getting a raise. Now, can you go Command Plus? What are you? You're on.
Oh, jeez.
Come on, there's no time, Tim. Please. We found and that's a good one.
That's a good one.
But like clearly, like this was planned. Let's go back and see a couple other ones, then we'll move on because this is getting a little perverted. But just like, and I love you, honey, but.
Oh,
click on this.
This is the one you're talking about. The flip over.
Oh, there it is. Right? She's just.
Flip
Oh,
over.
it's like a GIF.
Yeah. So you can release.
Open up that GIF, and send it.
Okay.
See, I knew I knew there was no way that some sweaty Cheeto-fingered pervert did not smash their hooves onto Adele and pull this off into the internet. I knew it. Yes.
Should I Command Plus into this one?
Yeah, definitely. Come on, now.
Oh, this was he just filmed it from.
Right.
TV.
It's subtle, right? She's just trying to jump a car. This isn't planned at all. But I love that. Like she's clearly standing on like a stool, right? And she's like, Max, I'm just saying. But I'd also like to point out that you get to see Pierce Bronson pretty much naked in the movie, I think.
That's true.
Yeah.
So, okay, you need to take this off before
Anything.
before some very expensive equipment gets damaged.
Oh, jeez.
I don't know if that was worth it, but if you're watching this on YouTube or one of our other fine platforms, YouTube, it was definitely worth it.
After
It kind of makes me not want to go back to talking about Betty White. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, you really ruined it.
it's kind of a hard. But the other thing what I wanted to do was look up pictures of Betty White. But this is where this was going before I got onto the Selma Hayek thing.
Oh, okay.
But look up some pictures of. Now, Betty White was beautiful from day one until the day she died. I don't know how she's looking today, but probably not as good as last week. Look at that. Now, that to me is the ultimate. Yeah, she looks like the 1940s to me, right? She looks like exactly what she is. Kind of sultry, right? Like a little like, why don't you come, Norm Macdonald, why don't you come lay on top of me on the old, hey
It's
there.
so scratchy. I think it's strong.
Do Betty White funny. There you go.
That's pretty much it.
Yeah.
Pretty good. Playboy Bunny. Betty White turns 100.
Oh, my goodness.
My muffin hasn't had a cherry since 1939.
Yeah. Is that approved?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Jeez.
well, yeah. The outrageous things Betty White ever said. That's pretty good.
Do you guys have any comedians that, kind of that have passed? I mean, that were, inspiring. Like Norm Macdonald to me. Yeah, like I like Bob Saget, but it was Norm Macdonald for me was a
that one.
favorite.
I really liked Chris Farley when I was
Yeah.
like a youngster. So that one sucked because, he could have had all the other things that I could be watching with him in it if he hadn't died. Yeah.
Yeah, but isn't that what makes them
True.
memorable?
Yeah,
He did a whole bunch of good ones and then you die. He
Yeah.
Belushi'd it, Imagine Belushi now making some WC show playing the grandfather one. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true. You could spoil it.
Oh, the one I really the one that really got me was Bernie Mac. When Bernie Mac
Oh,
died.
that's
He was
right.
way too
Yeah.
young.
That one was
Definitely.
so young. Yeah.
We need the return of the Mac.
The Return of the Mac. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
He
The
was so
suits.
Oh yeah.
He was in Bad Santa. That was right.
Yeah, that movie.
That was a great
Yeah.
movie. Pretty Mac.
He was always eating something in that movie. He was eating,
Bernie Mac.
smoking and eating an orange.
Hey, what do you think of this Steve Harvey becoming a judge now? He's got a new judge show, like Judge Judy.
Like an actual
Well,
law judge?
They're
Or
all
is he
called
just sort
judges,
of-
but essentially it's just arbitration from somebody who's not a magistrate.
Oh,
You know what I mean? Like, you can call it whatever you want, but
an arbitrator?
so it's like Judge Steve Harvey, and he's like, oh, but that's his thing. Now I got to tell you, is a very inspirational to me comedian. You know, because he is great.
Yeah.
And what makes the whole reason that show works is because of him. And when someone says something stupid,
Yeah,
you know,
he does.
If you
the
watch
face.
if you watch his early stand-up, in fact, I had one of my characters in my last project I wrote named after one of his characters that he was talking about. What the difference between how white people and black people get fired from a job. And it's like, you know, the white guy's like, you've been fired. Oh, well, I'm very sorry for whatever I did. The black guy's like, I will burn this mug to the ground. They're talking about Willie Turner, and he throws. Definitely give that a YouTube watch in the future. So he flicks the chair, talking about that. Definitely worth that. But his early stuff was very funny, very physical. But Bernie Mac is gone. John Ritter, he was in the comedian.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Also in Bad Santa. No.
Yeah.
Was he in?
Yeah,
Yes.
he was.
Yes, he was. He was
Yeah.
the boss. That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Billy Bob Thornton's the only one. Why is it the ones with the most amount of drugs? They're like, yeah, I lived to 79, and the guy out there eating vegan cornflakes. doing
Maybe
this
there's a preservative.
down there at South Coast Plaza Mall with their yacht money. You know what it is. You know this walk.
Oh, I do know that walk. Yeah.
You know,
I see it.
poor people. That's a wealthy person's working out. You don't
Yes,
see like you don't go down to Manchester 130th.
That's true.
Little wrist weights on. Yeah.
Yeah. But the other thing that was devastating is that this was another episode of Unnecessary Talk with Brian Sturges, and I am that Brian Sturges. At Timothy Hall Music, at Mr. Brian Sturges, at Josh K. Willis. Kind of still, I don't know what he's doing anymore. It's confusing.
He's
He
floating
says
through
he
the
has a
heavens.
job, and then he's like, he's like, I'm not busy, but then I'm busy. I got a thing. I got a meeting. I got a thing. I'm working with Elon. We're going to Mars. You know, listen, follow us, like us, and hey, check out our new thumbnail art on last week's and this episode. We're doing a new thing, and I'd like to thank this handsome man right here for doing it, whichever way you are. But we're making changes. We're getting it together. We're getting big. We're getting big time breakdowns. All right, see you next week.